Hi there, the time is 7 p.m. and thank you all for joining us for yet another live webinar with us from Philip Nova. This is your facilitator of the day. My name is Sri and I'm from the Philip Nova marketing team. And we have a great speaker in the house today. It's none other than Caleb Gunn, award-winning stockbroker, trader, and trading educator. He's also the co-founder of the NDU trading system. Well, today we're going to be talking about Singapore, and positioning for opportunities in 2H 2026. All right. So I'm just going to do a quick walkthrough of what we can cover today, just to get you excited. And like look out for the key points that we'll touch on. Basically today, uh, as we know right now, Singapore stocks are delivering a very strong performance in the first half of 2026, with the banking sector leading the change. As the Straits Times Index continues to scale new highs, investors are asking, myself included, can the rally continue and where could the next wave of opportunities come from? All right. So in this webinar, we will examine the outlook for the Singapore market in 2H 2026 with a focus on DBS, OCBC, UOB, key technical and price action signals, the sectors that could be poised for stronger momentum in the months ahead as well. All right, so we'll discuss practical strategies for managing risks, avoiding the temptation to chase overextended stocks, and identifying potential entry opportunities using price action techniques. So, what you'll take away, understand the key drivers behind Singapore's market rally, insights into DBS, OCBC, and UOB stocks, identify sectors and stocks showing great potential momentum, learn how to use price action and spot opportunities, and develop practical risk management. Risk management is very important, and a practical understanding of the Nova platform. All right, so and our speaker, as I've briefly introduced earlier, he's an award-winning stockbroker, trader, and trading educator with over a decade of experience in the global markets. He has trained more than 1,000 traders and is known for his practical, structured approach to trading. As a co-founder of the NDU trading system, Caleb focuses on helping traders achieve consistency through discipline and risk management. So we are very happy to have him in the studio. But before I hand the time over to Caleb to take us through what he has planned for us today, I'm going to hand the time over to my colleague, Sean, who will be walking you through the platform, the Nova platform, as well as the various offerings Philip Nova has. All right. So, at any point in time, if you have any questions during the webinar, please go to the question box. All right. It's somewhere at the top or bottom of your screen. It's a box with a question mark there. You can type your questions in there and we'll pick them up and share it. We'll read them out for the audience. All right. So at any point in time, you can go to the question box and type your questions in there. If you can hear me loud and clear, you can go to the question box and type yes now, just to let me know you can hear me loud and clear as well. Okay. All right, Sean, if you're all set to go, I can hand the time over to you now. Over to you, Sean.
Thank you, Sri, for the wonderful introduction. I'm Sean. Nice to meet everyone. So before I hand over the time to Caleb, do allow me to introduce Philip Nova to all of you and what we offer as a stockbroking company. Before that, a very quick disclaimer. Today's presentation is intended for educational purpose only. It does not take into account your specific investment objectives, financial situation, or particular needs. You should seek advice from a financial advisor regarding the suitability of the investment product before making a commitment to invest in any. Now, without further ado, let me quickly walk you through who we are and what we offer to you as a trader and as an investor. Philip Nova is under the Philip Capital Group, and the Philip Capital Group has been with investors and with traders through every market cycle along the way since 1975. So since 1975, we have gone through multiple crises such as the Black Monday, the Asian financial crisis, the dot-com crash, the global financial crisis, the COVID-19 pandemic, and most recently, we are experiencing a lot of geopolitical uncertainty. But throughout all this, we have been here as a very reputable broker, one that is also with with MAS and regulated by MAS and SGX. So throughout every market cycle, we have been here, making sure that all your investments and all your trading is undisrupted, and we are here to offer that service to you. Now, for Phillip Nova, we are a subsidiary under Phillip Capital. We started as Phillip Futures, where we offered futures trading to our clients. As our CEO onboarded more and more clients, he noticed that clients nowadays, they evolved. So they evolved to do multi-asset trading, right? And that is where we come in to offer multi-asset trading and expand our asset services along the way. So throughout the years, we started from futures and eventually we grew to having options, FX, CFDs, stocks, and ETFs offered as part of our asset class offering to clients for trading and investing. Now, why us? Because we are built on strong foundations. We are tightly regulated by the MAS and by SGX, and we have clients from all over the world, including institutional clients, including pro clients, and including retail clients. And when you invest and trade with us, you are connected to global markets. And not only that, with the global markets access, you can do multi-asset trading. And our analysts are also here to provide you the relevant market insights that can help you with analyzing the market and to provide you insights for you to support your decision making with confidence. And of course, we always focus on the human part of things. We have dedicated support, which is 24/5. As long as the market is open, we have people here that can support you. We have our dealing team, we have our IT team, we have our risk management team that runs 24/5. And from time to time, we would also run seminars and webinars to provide market insights to empower your investment journey. Excuse me. So for Phillip Nova, we are offering multi-asset trading via one account using one single ledger. What does that mean? It means that with that one single wallet, you could trade into multi-asset classes. You do not have to transfer your funds from one wallet to another to trade into another different asset class. You could trade all 5 asset classes with us using one single ledger. And recently we started to offer shares financing. We realized that there's a need for this in the market. And with this, clients can actually use their stock holdings as collateral to unlock additional trading opportunities. Our rates are 4.5% for USD and SGD. And the beautiful part about this shares financing is that it allows the user to have flexibility to trade anytime when the market conditions are right. Meaning to say, you're not just limited to your cash for trading. You could use your cash and you can borrow on the collaterals to put in trades at any time to capture opportunities when the conditions are there. So that is the flexibility that we want to provide our clients at the rate of just 4.5%. And with shares financing, you could actually improve your own capital efficiency because with different collaterals, you have different buying powers. For example, with Singapore collaterals, you could actually go up to 3.3 times of your buying power on your cash. So what does that mean? It means that with your stock portfolio, you could collateralize them and you could end up taking more positions to capture the correct opportunities. Of course, with shares financing, there's always a risk to it because there's leverage involved. So speak to us and find out more if you're interested in this facility. We're happy to show you along the way. And on the other hand, we also have very good FX conversion rates. I'm sure most of you travel. And when you travel, you're always looking out for the best money changer, the best wallets that offers you the best FX conversion rates for you to exchange your money to your travel destination. Likewise, why not for your investment and trading journey? So for us, we offer a lot of currencies over all the different markets globally. So these are some of the approximate conversion costs where we are competitive because compared to the market, the market is usually around 0.4 to 0.5%, while we are maintaining it at around 0.12% for dollar Sing, for example. And then for other pairs, it could go as low as 0.05%. So that's something that is really useful if you're investing for the long run. You incur this cost along the way when you convert your currency from your base to your other currencies and then you convert back. It will be a double cost. This is where we want to come in to help you to save on such cost.
Pick one to share about. Share margin.
Now, I want to quickly share with you on shares financing. This is a very short clip. Let's take 2 minutes to watch.
Pick one to share about. Share margin trading or share your lunch.
Definitely share margin trading. Lunch can wait.
In one sentence, what is share margin trading?
Share margin trading lets investors use some of their shares as support for new purchases. So instead of paying everything in cash, you can free up some money without selling the shares you want to keep. In short, it helps investors make their capital work harder without changing how they invest.
Oh, how does that work?
Let's say you want to buy some shares for $10,000. You deposit $5,000 and the broker lends you the other $5,000. When share price goes up by 10%, you earn the 10% minus the interest on the amount borrowed.
How is this beneficial for investors?
Investors today are not just looking for access to markets. Our focus is on helping clients stay invested, remain flexible, and make more informed investment decisions.
Is there a minimum amount to invest?
No, there actually isn't. A prudent way is to start with a small portion of your portfolio at conservative margin levels, so you can understand how margin works and how market movements affect your account before increasing exposure.
Share margin trading is a tool designed to give investors more flexibility and opportunity in the markets. Trade now on the Phillip Nova app.
Yep, so with shares financing, you could actually gain the flexibility where you can unlock additional buying power without liquidating your existing positions. On top of that, you could also take on leverage, which could amplify your returns on high conviction equity positions with transparent costs at 4.5%. For those of you who invest in high dividend stocks or ETF, you could do a yield carry where you borrow at 4.5%, invest in assets yielding more, and get that spread as your return. Now, these are the commissions that we offer for the global markets. For US, it's from 0.01% with a minimum of 3.88. For Singapore, it's from 0.08%, no minimum. And just to highlight for Japan, we are offering free market data. So if you want to find out more, do talk to us about this. Now, this is a very quick view of our Nova trading platform. So this is the home screen that you'll see. And if you want to deposit your funds, you can just click on the fund deposit button under your profile tab. And you can easily fund in using a Pay Now, right? And once you have it in, you can start trading by searching for your relevant tickets on the watch list. And just now I mentioned about currency conversion. So when we checked against Yahoo Finance, right, our conversion rates are actually very, very tight. So this was at 16th of June back then. And if you were to check back, the conversion rates are actually very tight compared to this. So if you want to do a conversion, you can actually see the live rates over here. So on 16th of June, the comparison between Yahoo Finance and what our platform had, 1.2847 versus 1.2831. Yep. And yeah, in order to place a trade, you can just click on watch list and then place an order, and you can just key in your price, and there you go, execution is completed. So pretty straightforward in terms of platform. And not only that, we also have TradingView connectivity. So for those of you who love TradingView, you can connect to us, right? Just search for us under the broker services, connect to us, you can log in, and then from there on, you can access our trading services. So what TradingView does, right, for those who are new to this, they actually have a lot of utilities and tools over there. One of it, which is very useful, is the stock heat map. It lets you quickly see what's happening in the market. And there's also a stock and ETF screener where you can screen for stocks that you want to trade or invest in. using certain parameters that you can define over here. Yep. So that's all for the introduction to Nova and the Nova trading app and Phillip Nova as a company. Later on, we will have a quick sharing about the promotions tonight. All right, some really good promotions tonight. If you were to onboard with us or if you're an existing client, how can you get to enjoy that promotion? That is one. And then after that, we also have a Q&A session where you can ask anything within the chat and we'll answer accordingly. All right, now without further ado, I'll now pass the time over to Caleb, our speaker for tonight, who will share with you about positioning for Singapore stocks. He's an award-winning broker and he's a trader, and he is a very, very good educator with many years of trading experience behind him. All right, without further ado, over to you, Caleb.
Thank you, Sean. Give me a minute. Let me share my screen first. All right, if you can see my screen and if you can hear me, type 1, please. Type 1, please, so that I know, you can hear me and you can see my slide. All right. So thank you, Sean. Okay. So again, thank you, Phillip Nova, for the invitations. So I think Sean has the right for the introductions. Okay. So just bear with us. All right. I mean, it's a free webinar. Okay. We try our best to share with you. All right. About Singapore markets, and we try to make it more interactive. That's how you learn. So when I ask certain question, please do respond to me, by typing in a chat room so that I know you are with me. All right. Now, before that, okay, thank you for your time for being here. Okay, my name is Caleb Gan, award-winning stockbroker and traders in Singapore. And I want to thank you for your time for being here. I know that some of you are busy. All right. Some of you want, Sean straight away jump to the topic. Okay. I know that, everyone is busy. All right. But okay, what I want to share with you is that, okay, just relax, okay? Just relax, okay? Because toward the end of the sessions, I'm going to share with you some of the Singapore stock as well using my NDU system, all right? And I promise you, okay? I promise you, I'm going to share with you some of the stocks. And what are you going to learn, all right? Singapore Bank, and then followed by individual stocks from Singapore market, and then followed by the system, the signal, all right, and how are you going to learn price actions, and then of course I will share with you my course as well, okay, toward the end of the sessions. Now, without further ado, why Singapore has a performance, why Singapore market has performed, all right. Now, these are the key reasons. Firstly, is a strong bank earning, all right, and then the interest rate environment in Singapore is quite manageable, and then followed by this dividend yield. I mean, if you look at the stock markets, all right, in US, all right, in what we call it in Asia, I think Singapore, company stock give the best dividend yield. If you talk about bank, all right, I think currently they give about 4 to 5% annually, which is quite attractive, all right. And then capital do flow into the Asia, particularly Singapore market. I think the war between Iran and US, all right, it also caused some uncertainty, and then the wealthy people, obviously they are looking for country which stables, and then they are looking for a country that can protect their wealth, all right. Then obviously Singapore is the country, okay. So defensive markets, if you look at the Singapore markets, all right, STI index, it has been uptrend for quite some time already, all right. Why is that so? So later we will discuss about some of the reason, okay. And Singapore, they have all the 3 boxes tick, like for example, what I mentioned, stabilities, yield, the dividend use, all right, and then cash generating business. So let me move on, all right, the technical outlook. So uptrend is still intact, and buyer remain in the control, obviously, because if you look at the STI index, from left hand side to the right hand side, it means that buyer interest continue to coming in to the Singapore stock markets, and no major breakdown yet, all right? And there's no what we call that sideways, all right? So STI index is still uptrend. So what does that mean? Okay, that means whatever that I have shared with you just now, all right, it's still applied into the current market situations. So that's why if you look at Singapore markets with so strong Singapore dollars, all right, and I believe that the foreign investor, I mean the big one, institutionals, I believe they do keep Singapore dollars, all right. So because Singapore dollar is one of the strongest currency in the world, so I believe, all right, they are not going to keep the money in the saving account. Okay, so where are they going to invest? Obviously, Singapore, right? Okay, so that's why Singapore STI keep moving up, okay, and moving up in a very slow phase. Okay, this is what the investor want. All right, so if you are looking for a very volatile market, jump up and down, then obviously you might want to look for a US market. So I believe some of the investors have a different portfolio, all right? So they do have some portfolio in US, they also have some portfolio in Singapore, which looking for a stability, all right? And if you look at the index, all right, main of the reason, right, is being driven by the three biggest banks in Singapore, namely DBS, OCBC, and UOB, all right? So why the rally continue is because of this Singapore bank. Now, some of you might ask, okay, particularly the retail investor, okay, Caleb, the interest rates, is what we call it in Federal Reserve. I mean, Singapore is an open market. They do follow, the US, interest rate. All right. So if the interest rate is coming down, will that affect the bank or not? Now, traditionally, all right, bank do, rely on the interest rate to make money. Like for example, they lend money to the property investor and then they charge the interest. That's how they make money traditionally. But nowadays, the market is already changed, all right, because the wealthy people, they are looking around, okay, and then Singapore, although it's a very small dot, right, okay, they are coming to Singapore to invest. And of course, where are they going to put the money in? They are putting the money into the bank, obviously. So these three banks, they benefit a lot, all right, when the world, is considered uncertain, okay, particularly in the Middle East, all right, and then we have in the Europe, okay. So all these, worried, right, okay, is the wealthy people worry, hey, where am I going to put the money in, all right? Obviously, they will think of Singapore. So that's why the Singapore markets, Singapore STI index, Singapore bank keep moving up and moving up and moving up. Okay, when are they going to change? All right, when are they going to change? All right, some of you might think that, interest rate, if let's say the Federal Reserve decide, to reduce the interest rate, will the bank crash down or not? I believe unlikely, all right, based on the latest, informations or reports. Like what I mentioned, bank, they don't just rely on the interest rate to make money right now. So they do have other entity to earn money. So that's why it doesn't really affect the Singapore bank. That's my view. But I do believe that the Singapore REITs might benefit from the interest rate cut. Okay, because interest rate. I mean, REITs is very sensitive to what we call that. REITs is very sensitive to the interest rate. Yeah, so that's why if the interest rate is being cut, I think Singapore REITs stocks, okay, you might want to consider. Some of them are, quite well known, right? Ascendas REITs, Parkway Life, okay, and Maple Tree REITs. Okay, they are giving quite a good dividend yield as well. Okay, so market rotation might happen. All right, what I mean is that the money flow might happen. Okay, if the interest rate is going to reduce. So what usually happen after the strong rally? Okay, so if you look at this chart, right? Okay, is quite normal. Okay, when the stock market is keep moving up, it will come down as well. All right, it will come down as well. Okay, so the key question is that many of you might ask when, like for example, STI keep moving up. Okay, so as long as the three banks, right? Okay, the earnings, right? Okay, is strong and they keep giving the dividend consistently, the bank will support the STI. All right, unless Singapore banks, the earning is dropping and then they are going to cut the dividend yield, that will create what we call that a selling. All right, because investor don't like their dividend to be cut. Okay, so as of now, I just look at the reports. Okay, the Singapore bank is still giving a very attractive dividend yield consistently for the past few years already. All right, so that is why it make it so attractive that investor keep buying the Singapore bank, and therefore STI is keep moving up. So corrections will happen only, like what I mentioned, if the earning, particularly the bank earning, is dropping. Okay, it's dropping and they are going to cut the dividend yield, that will cause the corrections for Singapore bank. So right now it's still normal, everything is still good. All right, so I don't see any issue yet. Okay, so that's why I'm not so worried about the Singapore bank. So as long as Singapore banks keep moving up, STI will surely keep moving up. Okay, but we still need to be prepared, because we do not know what is going to happen. In between, the stock price will, pull back, right? Okay, it's because of the sentiments, not because of the fundamentals. It could be happen. Okay, so that means, if any bad news in US, it might influence the Singapore market as well. So that is normal. All right. So whenever there is a bad news, it might cause the US market to be dropped. It might affect the Singapore market. Like for example, recently, all right, the war between US and Iran, it does cause the pullback in Singapore bank as well. What about last year? Okay, last year, the tariff, all right, does cause the Singapore bank to pull back as well. So every pullback, right, okay, based on the historical data, it was an opportunity for you to accumulate. Okay, so my question to you is that, are you ready or not? Are you ready or not? All right, so that's why you are here. So let me walk you through, okay, the technical part. All right, so the strong uptrend for DBS Bank, the biggest bank in Singapore, uptrend is still intact, because institutionals keep buying, okay, based on this trend. And it does have a healthy pullback, like for example, profit taking do happen as well. So what do I mean is that sometime, all right, if you look at the US market, okay, it might affect the Singapore market as well. So what is that means is that whenever there is a pullback, all right, so based on the chart, right, it's always give you an opportunity to enter. So the key question is that you might want to ask, okay, how are you going to use price actions, all right, to enter? So if you know how to draw the trend line, okay, if you look at the dot, right, so it's a blue color dot, is an uptrend trend line. So each time when the price pullback touches the blue line, blue color line, as long as the price or the candlestick remain above the trend line, okay, it actually tells us an potential entry point. Okay, potential entry point. So that means if you miss out the opportunity to purchase the bank, right, you might want to wait for the price to pull back first. So the way that I look at it, all right, the pullback is healthy, all right, and the price remain above the support level, then I may consider to enter. All right, I may consider to enter. Okay, so we can look at the price. Each pullback is always give us an opportunity. So support level do important. All right, so right now if you look at the support level, I think the support level is around 67 to $70. 67 to $70. And some of you might ask, how high can the price go? All right, nobody know. Okay, some say $50. Last time, okay, last time when DBS Bank was trading at $30, some analysts mentioned that, oh, it could go up to 40. All right, when it was trading at $40, some analysts say that, oh, it could go up to 50. All right, no, so currently at around $73. How high can it go? All right, so like what I mentioned, fundamentals is very important. So far, as of now, the fundamental of the banks, right, is very strong. Okay, the earning is good, dividend yield is very attractive. So that's why I don't see any what we call that problem for a Singapore bank yet. So that's why the price keep moving up. And what about OCBC technical outlook? All right. Now, if you look at OCBC, right, okay, the technical outlook, the chart, okay, is actually quite similar to DBS Bank. That means they are uptrend. So the momentum, right, okay, is still there for the bank. So there are people who are buying using a margin. All right. So just now Sean mentioned about margin. Okay. So bank is the most stable counter in Singapore. Okay. So the price uptrend. Okay. So when you borrow money, right? Okay, make sure you put into a great business. Okay, like OCBC Bank, DBS Bank, and UOB Bank. So that's why what Sean has shared with you, you know, is opportunity. So why the price keep moving up? I believe, some institutionals, they do have use margin as well. Okay, maybe, all right, because if you look at the risk reward ratio, okay, when the price pull back, each time, okay, it very consistent. The price, has high chance to rebound. So with the risk reward, okay, probability, the winning rate is quite high, then I believe they do use margin. So what about retail investor? I believe they do have, like for example, my client do use margin to buy the bank. Why? Because if you look at the price, right, $29, which is quite expensive. Okay, if you are using your own money pocket, right, sometimes, a bit, what we call that, even though businessmen, right, they have a lot of money, okay, they still borrow money, right, from the bank. All right, because when they see opportunity, they will borrow money to buy great businesses. So here I'm talking about the bank is a very great business. Okay, then you might want to think about the, what we call that, the strategy, how to maximize your profit. Okay, taking the advantage on the Singapore bank and to help you to make more money. Because I have never seen, for the past many years, I joined, stockbroking for the past 16 years, and I have never seen, Singapore bank, move up like this. So this is a great opportunity for you to take advantage on. And what about UOB, right? So UOB, OCBC, and DBS, right? Okay, if you look at their, earning, all right, they are great. Okay, if you look at their technicals, they are still uptrend. Okay, still intact. So that's why there are three banks that people will ask me, hey, Caleb, which bank do you choose? All right, which bank do you choose? Okay, what do you think? What do you think? Are you going to choose UOB, DBS, or OCBC? Can you type in the chat room and let me know which bank you prefer? Okay, can you type in the chat room and let me know which bank do you prefer? Okay, then I will tell you my view. All right, then I will tell you my view. Very simple one. Okay, I'll tell you my view. You tell me first, which bank do you prefer? Can you type in the chat room? All right, that's how you learn, right? Okay, can you type in the chat room, which bank do you prefer? Okay, let me know. So looking at OCBC chart, it is not over ended and time for pullback. All right, so this trainer need to be trained to the public speaking. Okay. Okay, right. Let me know which bank do you prefer. Okay, UOB, thank you. OCBC. All right. So I think every one of you have your own preference. Okay. Now the simple one for you to choose is that you can choose the cheapest one. All right. Um, it's just a psychology. All right. Based on our nature, right? Human nature. Usually we'll choose the cheaper one, but cheaper one. Um, that means you can buy more share, all right? I mean, based on the amount that you have, okay? But three bank are great, okay? But usually my suggestion is to my clients that, all right, you can buy all the three banks, okay? That is the simple, way for you to make a decision, all right? And next, okay? So UOB Bank, okay? It's uptrend, all right? Still intact. So that's why they are similar. The pattern of the bank, right, they are similar. Okay. So each pullback, all right, it actually give us an potential entry. Okay. So right now the price has extended. All right. So higher high is being formed. If you look at the previous chart, right? If you look at the previous chart or if you look at the previous candlestick, higher high was being formed, and then it does pull back. Okay, when it pull back, it always give us an opportunity. All right, it always give us an opportunity, and what we call that. So right now it's still at high. Okay, looking at it, we might just want to wait patiently. Okay, wait patiently before it touches the support level again. So this is a trend line. A trend line means, part of the price actions. So price actions means that they measure the price based on uh, the closing price of the candlesticks. All right. So how are you going to draw the trend line? It's very simple. You just need to point at the low of the candlestick. All right. Low of the candlestick and low of the candlestick, and then you just connect together, and then a trend line will be formed. Okay, the trend line will be formed. So looking at the chart, right, based on my technical analysis, the technical support might be at $40 to $41. So if you are looking to purchase UOB stock, right, then you might want to wait, all right, for the price to pull back, at around $40 to $41. All right, so that is my view. Okay, so this for bank. Okay, so beyond bank, right? Okay, where could the next opportunity come from? Okay, so this is sector. Okay, so now some of you might ask, okay, will the fund flow into another sector? All right, probably. Okay, probably. Okay, so if you look at the US, okay, technology sector is booming. Okay, is there any tech stock in Singapore? All right, I think not many. Okay, not many. So that is why later I'm going to share with you some of the SDR tech stocks. Okay, whereby it allowed you to be traded in Singapore Stock Exchange. Okay, using Singapore dollar. So that means you can access the what we call that foreign stocks through Singapore Stock Exchange. I think it's quite interesting. So they are industrial, technology, logistic, and infrastructure and growth oriented counter. But if you look at the sector, right, the most interesting sector, I still think the technology sector. All right, like for example, stock like AEM, SGD, AEM, SGD, and then followed by UMS, okay, UMS, and then Frankens, all right. So recently I just noticed a stock called at Value Technology. So these are the tech stocks, okay, available in Singapore, not many, all right. So I still think that beside bank, all right, the mid cap stocks, okay, might have an opportunity as well, okay, because for a retail investor, they don't just invest in the bank, all right, because for them to invest in the bank, right? I would say it's quite boring, okay, because you just buy and hold the stock, right? If you are buying the Singapore bank, so you just buy and hold, okay, which is quite boring. And then at the same time, you can still make money, okay, because the price keep appreciating. So that's why some of the retail investor looking for some excitement, okay, maybe, all right. And then I think technology sector, okay, is one of the sector that you might want to take a look, all right. So understanding SDR, which I have mentioned, okay. So what is the SDR mean? So let me share this with you, all right. So it gives actually investor to assess the selected foreign listed company. So let's say, for example, if you are looking for US stocks, all right, and if you want to invest in the US stock because of the trading hour during the night time might not be suitable for you, and then US stock, of course, obviously is trading in US dollar, okay, so that's why you are looking for Singapore dollars, counter, okay, and international growth, okay, like for example, some of the stocks like EV, okay, is not available in Singapore Stock Exchange. So that's why you need to look outside of the Singapore Stock Exchange. So that's why, many client and many, of my friend asking, hey, how come Singapore don't have, okay, because, if they want to go to invest in the overseas, all right, because of the currency risk, okay, because of the trading hours might not be suitable for them. So that is why SDR is being issued, okay, by SGX, so that it make the local investor, particularly those who want to, keep the money in Singapore, all right, and to invest in Singapore, okay, then this is for you, all right. So it's actually help you to enhance your portfolio as well. I mean, to diversify your portfolio. Okay, so you might not necessarily put everything in the bank, right? Because you also feel that if the bank have some corrections, then you might want to look elsewhere. Okay, so it helps you to diversify to a different industry, to different sector as well. So it's a new opportunity beyond the traditional blue chip stock. Okay, so the portfolio that you have for bank is for you to collect dividends. All right, sometimes you might want to look for a price appreciation. So at DS, SDR might be for you. All right. So many investor focus on domestic opportunity only. Yeah, that's true. All right. Then a strong global trend might be developing outside of the Singapore, like what I've shared with you. Okay. So I might want to skip this one because I already explained. And what is Singapore Depository Receipt? All right. So it's listed. Okay, the stock, right, is actually listed on the overseas exchange, like for example, US. Okay, and then the custodians hold the underlying share, and then SDR is being issued representing the underlying share, and then listed on XGX, and it called SDR, so that the local investor can trade this SDR through the brokerage firm that has a connection with Singapore Stock Exchange. All right. So let me walk you through the advantage. Okay. So the tradings, so it's tradings on SGX. All right. So as long as you have a platform, Phillip Nova platform. All right. And you can trade through Phillip Nova platform, and the settlements is in Singapore dollars. So if you are investing in overseas, right, you got to pay US dollar. So you need to convert your Singapore dollar, which is your strongest currency, to US dollar. You might want to do so. You might not want to do so. So you want to keep Singapore dollars and to invest in Singapore dollar settlement stocks, then SDR is for you. All right. So dividend as well. Okay, dividend they pay you in Singapore dollars as well. Okay, even though the issue, SDR is available for different market, like for example US, okay, and then it's also available in Hong Kong as well. So right now, today we're going to focus on the US one, okay. So later I'm going to share with you 3 SDR that you might want to, take a look. All right. So local brokerage, so that means, okay, you pay the local brokerage fee, okay, with the local exchange fee as well. So no additional overseas trading fee, no foreign exchange fee, and no US. This for Hong Kong. Hong Kong don't have. Hong Kong Stock Exchange do charge their investor for stamp duty. But if the Hong Kong stock listed in Stock SGX through SDR, you no need to pay the Hong Kong stamp duty. That's what I mean. All right. Okay, so core advantage, okay, convenience. Trading hours are the same as SGX from 9 to 5, and then CDP custody, all right, SDR managed by CDP. So depending your trading platform, some of you trade through custodian. So yeah, it could be parked under your custodian account as well. And then it's transparent, okay, because informations regarding SDR related company activity will be published on the XGF website as well. Okay, will be published on the XGF website as well. All right. Let me. Okay. So what else? Okay, this is a comparison, which is quite interesting. All right, if you look it carefully, right? Okay, the SDR underlying share is based on the ratio. Okay, 50 to 1. Okay, 50 to 1. So example, all right, if the SDR is trading at $2.73, all right, minimum share, okay, you can purchase is 10 share in Singapore. So if you compare with the US stocks, right, currently C Limited is trading at $104, and minimum share in US is 1 share. So you got to pay $104. All right. So depend on how many share that you want to buy. So what I mean is that the advantage is that Singapore dollars, the SGX SDR, minimum share is only 10, and then it allowed you to access the foreign listed stocks, all right, through SDR. So it's making things convenient for you, and you pay in Singapore dollars. You no need to exchange your Singapore dollars to US dollars. Another SDR is Grab, all right, $2.18. Okay, so currently the US dollar is trading at $3.35. So the ratio is 2 to 1. Okay, 2 to 1. Not much difference. Okay, but however, like what I mentioned, I think the key advantage is that SDR, the currency settlement is in the Singapore dollars. Lastly, SpaceX, the most popular and the most talk about stocks. If you look at the SDR price, is only $1.50. It make the stock accessible, affordable, okay, for a local investor. So currently the US dollar trading price for SpaceX is at around $115, and minimum share, I think is 1 share. All right. So if you look at the SDR, it's quite interesting. Number 2, trading in Singapore dollars. Number 3 is XGX trading hours. That means from 9 to 5, and settlement, everything is in the Singapore dollars. Okay, so all the information will be published through the XGX website. So it's quite convenient. Okay, so let's walk through the stock chart. Okay, so this is a C Limited US stock chart. All right, so currently the price is trading at around $104, and based on the SDR ratio, okay, 50 to 1. All right, so in Singapore Stock Exchange, all right, through your Phillip Nova platform, the price is only trading at Singapore dollar 2.73 cent. Okay, 2.73 cent. All right, so the code number is UGGD. Okay, UGGD. Okay, minimum lot size is only 10. All right, so if you look at the price of C Limited, right, previously was downtrend, and then followed by sideways from March to June, and recently the price break out from the resistance. It looked like the price recover from their low point, and you might want to take a look, okay, because the previous high was $200. Okay, previous high was $200. Okay, so right now the price, recently is trading at only $104. So it might actually, um, if you like, foreign stocks, and then SDR is being introduced, yeah, you might want to take a look. Okay, and Grab holding, all right. So price near the support level. So if you are looking to buy near the bottom, all right, then Grab might be the one that you are looking for. And if you look at the price, US dollar is currently trading at $3.35. If you want to buy through the SDR, the price is only trading at $2.18 Singapore dollars. So the code is UGBD, all right, UGBD. The ratio is 2 to 1, okay, 2 to 1, all right. And lastly, the SpaceX, all right, I think it's the most attractive one, okay, because the price was at high $172, and then the price keep crashing down. Okay, and if you are looking to buy near the bottom, all right, then SpaceX, you might want to put the stock into your watch list and wait for the opportunity. So currently, all right, the price in US stock market trading at $116. And if you compare with the SDR price, okay, it only, cost you $1.50 Singapore dollars, because the ratio, okay, is 100 to 1. All right, so which is very, very attractive. Okay, very, very, very attractive. And the code number, okay, for SDR is UXSD. Okay, USXD. All right, so you might want to put this code into your watch list, and then you wait for the opportunity. All right, so the price currently is still keep selling down. So usually when we use price action, right, we don't buy when the price is keep selling down. So we want to buy when the price is stable and then begin to move up. Like for example, C Limited, okay. So we don't buy when the price was downtrend, okay. So we begin, okay, to accumulate when the price move in the consolidation phase, okay, which is from March to June. And then what happened toward July, the price actually break up, okay. So we want to look for this consolidation first before we want to take any actions. All right. So this is a price actions strategy. So that's why when I talk about SpaceX, okay. So I just want to share with you my strategy. How am I going to trade these stocks? All right. So you can put into the watch list and then wait for the consolidations. Okay. You might want to wait for the consolidations. All right. So next. Okay, currency risk. Okay, although traded in Singapore dollars, all right, the underlying assets are still subject to foreign exchange fluctuations. Okay, corporate actions, SDR holder might not have voting right. Okay, may experience delay of differences in the right to the corporate actions. Liquidity of SDR may differ from that of the underlying securities. Okay, so next, the biggest mistakes investor make. All right, so professional trader approach is market differently. So most of the time, right, the retail investor will ask how much money can I make? All right, but for professional traders, always ask, how much risk am I taking? So this is very important because the risk management, if you don't manage it well, all right, then losing money is of course not the one that we want, of course. All right, so that's why we always ask the first thing first, how much risk am I taking? So the position sizing is important as well. So how many share can you buy, and based on your capitals also important, because you don't want to over trade. Okay, and if you are over trade, then when the price begin to drop, like SpaceX, I think many people jump into it when it was launched, okay, I believe, all right, and many people jump into it, and then right now they are stuck, okay, at the lower point. So when the price trading at the lower point, most of the retail investor, okay, become fearful, and then they might make a silly decisions to liquidate at the low. But for professional trader, they might actually, purchase from this retail investor at a very low price. So that's why I say we buy only when the stock price is moving up, break out from the resistance, or when the price move in a trend, like for example, the bank stock that I have shown you, okay, buy only when the price touches the trend line, okay, and then avoid stock like downtrend that I've shown you, SpaceX currently. So we don't chase the market. Like for example, the bank that I show you currently, the price has already extended, and just wait for the pullback, because retail investor, they have this problem called fear of missing, all right, like what we call FOMO. So when the price keep moving up and they feel that they miss out the opportunity, they will chase the stocks. All right. So that's why for professional trader like me, I don't chase the stocks. I wait for the price to pull back. Okay. So discipline over emotions, risk first, and then profit will follow. So price action frameworks for second half of 2026. All right. So trend is number one, because I am a trend following traders. All right. So I look at the trend before I decide to enter or exit. And then I will base on the support level, which is the key level, to determine my entry point and the exit point. And of course, the confirmations has to be a bullish candlesticks before I'm making a decisions to enter, and define the risk, how many shares to purchase based on the capital that I have. And then lastly, manage the positions, because once you purchase the stock, right, the rest you just leave it to the market to decide, because you already predefine your trading plan. So this process has to be done before you enter the stocks, because once you enter the stocks, obviously you'll be emotional, because the stock price will be moving up and moving down, and it is not suitable for you to plan your trade after purchase the stock. So it is best for you to plan your trade before you enter. So that's why the consistency, okay, is always follow your process and not predictions. So I don't believe in the predictions. Reason is because that no one can win over the stock market from the predictions. We can only create our own process that suitable for our strategy, and then we just follow the process. The rest we will leave it to the market to reward us. All right, so a clear process, remove emotions. So one of the solutions, right, I mean, if you are trading stocks, if you look at the stock chart, when the bad news hits, you become emotional, okay? So that's why you need to have the process, okay, in place, and then just follow the rules. It will minimize the risk and remove your emotions. All right, so manage the risk first and let the profit run, all right? So preparations over the predictions, all right? So nobody know which certainty that the market will do. Of course, the objective is not to predict, but the objective is to prepare lah. So like what I mentioned, Singapore Bank is still very strong, all right, but who knows, okay, when are they going to pull back? It could be triggered by the bad news. Fundamentally still strong, okay, unless like the earning is not meet the expectations or they cut down the dividend yield, then a correction might be happen. All right. So a normal pullback is normal, but if you look at the fundamental, it's still strong. All right. So nothing to worry about the Singapore bank right now. So by focusing on the price actions, risk management, okay, discipline, executions, is for you to identify when to enter and exit. It's like, for example, if you look at the bank stocks, you like the bank stocks, but you might not have an idea when to enter and exit. Then the price actions play a very biggest role to help you to identify when to enter and exit. Now, if you still remember, I show you when to enter, right? Okay, draw a trend line when the price pullback touches the blue line, and then you might want to consider to enter the potentials entry points. Okay, so investor can position themselves to take advantage of the opportunity regardless of the market directions. So price actions, risk management, disciplines, trade what you see and not what you think. So let me share this with you quickly. All right. So NDU system. So later I'm going to show you how I analyze the stock, how I screen out the potential stocks, so that you have an idea, you know, what is the system am I using, all right, what stock that am I looking at. Okay, so maybe some of the stock that I want to share with you, but of course it's for your information only, it's not for you to buy and sell. I'm also one of the co-founder of the NDU system. So let me show you. All right, so this is a system that I've been using for the past 10 years. So I designed this system together with my partner. So the purpose is very simple, is to find a potential stocks. Okay, to find potential stock with the screener come with different criteria using technical analysis. All right, so we have big mover, fast mover, historical high, ultimate bull, explosive bullish candlestick, and explosive bullish small candlestick. All right, so let me walk you through. Okay, if I want to look for a fast mover stocks, that means the stock that move up, you know, very fast one now. Okay, if you're looking for, you know, trading a momentum trade, then this might be the one that you are looking for. Okay, so this is a new stock, I think, right? So this is less liquidity. Okay, so this is, let me see, this is Acro, RH Petronas. All right, so not many fast mover, but let me walk you through the ultimate bull. So that means the stock that is still uptrend. All right, so currently Singapore stock is still uptrend, obviously, so which I already showed you. And I do rely on the signal to identify entry point and exit point, but today I'm not going to cover the system. I just want to share with you what are the stock that is still uptrend. And on the right hand side, it will show the financial sector, industrial, and second is UOB Bank, all right, and followed by OCBC. So these are the super uptrend stock lists that I am, you know, watching every day. Just want to share with you, all right, and then followed by XGX, SIA, okay. HSBC is SDR, okay, Hong Kong listed stocks. The ratio is 5 to 1. All right, so this is $5.30. So this for Hong Kong SDR. All right, SATS, Parkway Life, which I have mentioned. Okay, when if the interest rate is being cut, then the REIT, Singapore REIT, might benefit lah. All right, so Parkway Life is one of them. Okay, and then followed by UOB Kay Hian. Uptrend is still intact but pretty volatile. So the price is still near the peak. So my suggestion is that wait for the pullback. Wilmar, uptrend is still intact but quite volatile as well. Okay, so Sheng Siong, uptrend is still intact. So each time pullback always gives us an opportunity, followed by the the hourglass, all right, uptrend is still intact, okay, and followed by Kaplan. So Kaplan, all right, uptrend, but volatile. So it's quite interesting, all right. I mean, if you know how to draw the support level, okay, let me show you quickly, all right. So when the price connect with each other, okay, so you can draw a support level. So this is where you can consider as your entry point, all right. So this is a price action strategy. Identify the support level, and then, okay, and then you can consider to enter near the support level, which is around $2.24. All right, so this is a price action strategy. And then what about capital risks? All right, followed by Fraser center point, Vicom uptrend. So this is another risk which is surprisingly uptrend. All right, so AIMS, okay, uptrend risks, okay, followed by Centurion, okay. So this is a very quick, what we call that, glance of stock, Singapore stocks by using my own system. I mean, I just want to share with you how I do, all right, how I choose for the stocks using the screener, okay. Although today is not the main topic here, but this is the additional bonus, okay, all right. And let's say, for example, if I want to look for US market, Hong Kong market, all right, so it's also available. So let's say, for example, if I want to choose for a buy signal, buy arrow, right? So stocks will be shown, okay, downtrend, all right, pullback, and blue arrow, okay. So these are the strategy that what I show you, C limited just now, all right, consolidations, and then price, begin to break out, okay, from the resistance. So these are the strategy that I'm looking for if you are using price action strategy, all right. So you can actually consider to purchase near the support level with a risk management, like for example, stop loss, okay. So again, nothing is 100%. Like what I mentioned, I just want to share with you, all right, what are the stock that I'm looking at and what are the stock that is available for you to put into your watch list, all right. So these are the REITs. Looking at it, REITs are what we call it, quite attractive as well, right? Because when everyone talking about the interest rate, then if the interest rate is going to coming down, then the REITs might be benefit. All right, so let me move on. I think most of you do not know me yet, all right? And please allow me 5 minutes to introduce myself, okay? So again, my name is Caleb Gunn, and I want to invite you to join my Telegram group for free, okay? So I do have some informations, post in this Telegram group, and you can scan the QR code right now. So I do, mention some of the stocks ideas in this group as well, so that you know what I share and you also know what are the stock that I am looking at currently. All right, so it's free. Scan the QR code right now before I move on. All right. So I've been in the industry for the 16 years, okay. So I got many awards. I want to take this opportunity to thank my existing client, Phillip Nova, the organizer who supporting me for many years. So without them, of course, without me as well. So thank you, Phillip Nova, thank you, my client, and thank you every one of you who are in front of this screen. Thank you for your time for being here. Now, stock market actually changed my life. Reason is because that it does help me to make money from Singapore market, US, Hong Kong market. But of course, market is up and down. Therefore, I touch on risk management, okay, trading plan, which is very crucial. Reason is because that when you make a lot of profit, how are you going to keep the profit? That is the most difficult part that I'm aware of, whereby most of my colleague and client always share with me they have this problem. So how am I going to solve the problem? Okay, for me, okay, I mean everyone is unique, all right? Everyone is unique, okay? So for me, right, okay, when I took profit, I will look for asset to buy. Okay, like for example, property. If you ask me, I like property as well. So that means if you invest in the stock market, you make some good profit, you might want to withdraw. Okay, and I encourage you to withdraw. All right, because trading sometimes is stressful. Okay, if you are not careful enough, your profit might be wiped out. Okay, that is the fact. So how are you going to solve your problem? You withdraw your profit and then you go and invest or buy your properties. All right, with the physical asset. So this is one of the suggestion. The other suggestion is that, okay, you might want to consider to buy your dream car. Okay, so just last year, okay, I make a very good profit. All right, so I purchased my childhood dream car. Okay, Ferrari 488. All right, so it's not about show off, it's about reward myself. So that's why I say everyone is unique. You have your own way to invest your money, you have your own way to allocate your fund into a different asset. So this is my way. I just want to share with you how I achieved, from the past 16 years, all right, invest in the stock market. It actually changed my life. Okay, if you have a system, if you have a process, and you should be able to make it, but you need to go through a proper training first. So I myself attended many courses and I learned through trial and error. All right, and then finally with the system that I have, the system that I created, NDU system, it does help me a lot, all right, to erase the emotion part so that I can focus on my trading with the system that I just showed you just now. So today, right, okay, whatever thing that I just shared with you, right, is just tip of the icebergs. Okay, maybe 10% of what inside my full course only. And please allow me to share with you the course that I want to introduce to you called 10x strategy. And you can actually learn how I trade, how I achieve, my trading journey for them from 10 years ago until today, how I achieve my my financial freedoms, and how I can purchase my dream car. So let me share this with you 10 minutes. And this program, right, is designed by me, and it's a very unique program, 26-week program. Now let me share this with you. Why 26 week? All right, because I myself is a very slow learner. Okay, I'm not good at exam. I'm not good at study. All right, but I'm very good at visualizing. All right, so that's why the system that I have created, right, come with color. Blue color mean buy, red color mean sell. Okay, that is the system. Okay, but what I want to share this with you is that 26-week program is suitable for people looking to learn how to trade in the US markets and Hong Kong markets. If you are looking to use margin, all right, or leverage, this is the program for you to attend. Reason is because that if you are trading very expensive stock like bank, right, okay, currently DBS trading at $70. So it's quite expensive. So how are you going to make money from the DBS bank? How are you going to maximize the profit? You need to have a leverage tools, right? But you cannot just simply learn by yourself, okay? Because why? Because leverage is quite dangerous for certain people. So that's why you need to go through a proper training. So this is the program that I want to share this with you. How are you going to put little capitals and to maximize your profit? So 26 week, what are you going to learn? Number one is a mentorship, all right, step by step from beginners to advanced. Now this is crucial, particularly when markets pull back and when market is having a corrections. If you don't have someone to talk to, or if you don't have a communities to share with them the problem that we have, trading could be a very boring journey. So you need a team to support your long-term trading journey. So we do have a trading community to help each other. So our member do share the idea and questions and learn with each other and keep reminding, all right, each other a certain event, okay, before the earnings of a particular stock that we have, traded, all right, which is crucial because earning could cause the price to get up or get down. So if someone could remind you, all right, so that you could be have extra careful. And then price actions strategy, which I have shown you, very basic one. Of course, there are more. So using trend line, chart pattern, and what we call that support level and a resistance level to identify entry point and the exit point, and then followed by risk management is very important. And lastly, case study. So that means 26 week, right? It actually give me time to share with you the current market situations and what are the strategy we're going to apply. Like for example, very crucial. Once the war is being triggered, many investors were worried, all right, but I was there, okay, to guide my members. How are they going to, handle their positions, whether to enter more or to exit or stay sideways. So we were discussing the scenario, okay, what is the approach, and we already have the stock list to stand by, all right, to get back into the stocks. Later I'll show you what are they exactly, and it also include the powerful tools to provide detailed calculations and analysis. If you still remember what am I talking about, the risk management include position sizing, how many shares that you can buy based on your risk appetite. So these calculators that I have created for my own use, because I do trade CFD as well. CFD is a contract for difference. For blue chip stock, it allow up to 10 times leverage. So that means you put little capitals, you can buy more, like for example, bank stocks, okay? And it allow you, all right, to leverage up to 10 times, but it must become with the risk management. Let's say, for example, $70 purchase price for DBS Bank, and if you want to buy 1,000 share, okay, it could cost you $70,000 example, all right. So target price, for example, you put $80, okay, and risk management, also called a stop loss, 3% from your purchase price, okay. So this is just a scenario, okay. I didn't look at the chart because of the time limitations, and margin requirement depending on Phillip Nova offer, okay. Phillip Nova offer 10% mean 10%. If Phillip Nova offer 20% mean 20%. All right. So let's assume Phillip Nova offer 20% margin requirement for DBS Bank. All right. So the contract value, right, is $70,000. If you buy using cash, right, $70,000 for 1,000 share of DBS Bank. But with CFD, right, users need to deposit $14,000. Okay, $14,000. And the risk reward ratio, okay, is considered attractive. All right. And I compare the profit in two different types. Namely, if you buy using cash, based on the above calculations, your cash trading profit, the profit percentage is around 14.29%. And with the stop loss, okay, 3%, it means when you are right, you make $10,000. If you are wrong, okay, or market turn against you, you could be down 2,100. So the second type of the profit, okay, is based on the CFD tradings. All right. So the profit amount is the same, $10,000, but the percentage wise is huge difference, which is 71.43%. That means you put little capital, $14,000 only, and you make 71%. All right, so the stop loss, okay, amount is the same, 2,100. On the right hand side, okay, it comes with the advanced stop loss orders. So you just need to key in according to the number. So the calculator helped me at one glance, make my process more faster so that I can key in the figure according to the calculations and help me speed up my process. All right, so just want to share with you what was the tools that I'm using and what is the process. And then the bonus means the watch list. I have US stock watch list and Hong Kong stock watch list that I'm going to share with you if you join my class. All right, so VIP membership site means that every day, every sessions, right, live sessions, I will record and then I will upload into the membership site so that you can replay and rewatch the video. So example, so throughout this 26-week program, online coaching is on every Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. through June, okay? And trading strategy, most of the time, I will show you using the price action strategy. If you still remember how to draw the trend line, support level, and resistance level. And this program cover mostly US stocks, okay, and then Hong Kong stock occasionally. So this is the watch list that I will share with you, all right, if you join my class. And I took, a lot of time to analyze the stocks using my screeners. And I think the stocks that I am watching has high convictions, okay, because usually I'm looking for a very explosive, that kind of the stocks for a trading opportunity. And this is a Hong Kong watch list. We'll be giving it to you if you join my class. All right. So the trading community is a Telegram group. So you'll be invited to join my VIP Telegram group. Okay, if you join my class. And sometimes I do share about trading opportunity. Like for example, previously, I mentioned about Broadcom, the US stocks. Before that, the price was trading at around 248. And after sharing the price moving up as high as 121, which is around 49%. So this is the what we call that, how I add value to my member. So VIP membership site, okay, so this is an online website that you can access, okay. So example, so this is membership site, and there is an onboarding video, all right, how to onboard you for this program. And then every week, the video or the lessons will be recorded and uploaded into this membership site. It covers Chinese and English, okay? So if you look at the topic, right, each week or every week, you will learn a new thing, okay? Like for example, just recently we were talking about, I teach about how US midterm election affect the stock markets, okay? Where the money is going to flow into which sector, all right? And followed by sector analysis and stock idea, CFD short selling, okay, recovering stock. If you still remember, the memory stocks and the semiconductor stock was crashing down. So we were discussing about short selling, all right? So you can see that it's based on the current market situations to teach you so that you'll be able to absorb what you have learned, all right? So trading is supposed to be learn and then trade, okay? So some people expect that, oh, you need to learn from basics, intermediate to, advanced. I think once you have completed this journey, right, you probably have forgotten what you have learned, okay? So that's why it's best for you to learn and then trade. That's why 26-week program, I think, is very effective, okay? So this is a membership site. So if you join my class, you will be entitled to access to this membership site for free, all right? So CFD calculator will be giving it to you as well, all right, to help you to calculate the risk reward ratio, the stop loss price, risk management, which I have mentioned. So everything at one glance, save your time, increase your efficiencies so that it will, give you an opportunity for winning stocks. So total value is only $2,679 for tonight, okay, only 697. So if you divide it by 26 week, right, you only need to pay $26.80 per week. Now imagine if you go for dinner with your family, one night only, it could cost you more than $50 or $100 depending on where you eat. But what I want to share this with you, is that 26 week, okay, for $26 per week, right? Okay, you will learn how to trade in the US, Hong Kong, and all the resources that I share with you. I think is very affordable, all right, and it's a long-term journey, okay, for you to learn, because whatever that I'm going to teach you for you, right, it will stick with you. I mean, the skill set will stick with you forever. So if you are looking for a retirement, or if you already retired, or if you are still working, this course is suitable for you. All right. And I would like to thank Philip Nova. Okay. So if you are, a Philip Nova Singapore client, you are entitled for this promo. Now, the regular price for this course, right, is $697. Okay. Because of the Philip Nova promo, what Philip Nova will do, they are going to credit $200 Sing dollars into your Philip Nova Singapore account, all right, if you fulfill the criteria. So that means what? Okay, that means what? That means the cost price, the class regular price is $697. So you minus off the Singapore dollar $200 trading credit, right? So the final fee, you only need to pay $541. So that means you save 200 Singapore dollar. Wow, which is very attractive. My own member, they got to pay full price, $697. Okay, so the criteria is this. All right, you need to deposit fresh fund $5,000 into your Philip Nova account, and then register the course successfully. All right, later I'm going to show you the link how to register the class, so that you will receive the 200 Singapore dollars credit into your trading account before by 31st August. All right, so there is a time frame for you to follow. Make sure you maintain the $5,000 fund until 31st August. Okay, so it actually eligible for new and the existing client as well. Okay, so this is the process. Okay, how are you going to enjoy the $200 trading credit? So number one, okay, sign up for my class first. Okay, and then open Philip Nova account Singapore one, and you can use your existing account. If you already have existing account, you don't need to open a new one. Third, you deposit 5,000 Singapore dollar fresh fund, okay, and keep the fund before 31st July 2026, and maintain the fund until 31st August 2026. Okay, so make sure you aware of the time frame. All right, so I'm going to give you a free ebook as well if you sign up for my class, and this ebook is crucial, like for example the power of the chart pattern, because price actions, right, consists of many different chart pattern as well as a different candlestick pattern. So I have identified 5 chart pattern whereby it has a high probability of the trading's idea that you must know, okay, if you are looking for a very exponential stocks. And I also give you a Hong Kong stock watch list that I have spent my time to analyze. So I think there are more than 10 Hong Kong stock if you are looking to learn how to invest in the Hong Kong market. So this is some of my my own tradings records, okay, from last year. Okay, if you look at the percentage, $200,000 plus, and $42,000, $56,000. All right, so this is real, okay. All right, so I myself is a trader, so that's why I want to share this with you, is that if you want to learn how to trade, right, make sure you learn from someone who have the track records, who have the system, who has been in the industry for long enough. And most importantly, I myself is a stockbroker who have the license. Okay, so I'm not a YouTuber influencer. Okay, I'm a real trader. Okay, so make sure you learn from the right peoples. Okay, so this is another testimonial. All right. So now the question that most of the people ask is that, is this an ongoing class? The answer is yes. So now I want to highlight this, okay, because I don't want to create misunderstanding. All right. So the class is already started, ongoing. Why is that so? Like what I mentioned, right? Traditional way of learning, like for example, in primary school, secondary school, and then university, that was our, society own journey. All right. But if you think about it, it actually, the process is too long. Okay. By the time, you probably have forgotten what you have learned. So that's why I believe in this. Okay. Because I have attended many, many classes, and I do have my member share with me why 26-week program ongoing class is easy to learn, is because I'm trying to relate the current market situations to teach them. So that means if certain thing happen, like the war between US, Iran trigger, so many of the retail investor will be worried and they do not know what to do. Some of them panic. So that's why I will take this opportunity to share with them what was the strategy during that time. All right. Are we going to hold, exit, buy more, or stay sideways? So I will share with them, and then from there, they will be able to learn and manage their risk and handle the situation well. That is how we learn. All right. So now let's say, for example, you sign up for the 2-day class, for example, outside. Okay, 2-day class. What can they teach you? I believe 2-day class, they only teach you theory. Okay, because how are they going to relate the war and the Iran, because it was not happening. All right. So that's why the class is ongoing, which I believe is effective, because every week market is dynamic, or everyday market is dynamic, keep changing, so that it is so effective. You learn and then you trade. You learn and then you trade, so that you can remember easily. You can absorb, the process easily. All right. So is this suitable for beginner? Yes, it's suitable for all type of the investor. If you do not know US stock and Hong Kong stock, no worry. I can share with you my US stock watch list and Hong Kong stock watch list. So if you miss out the online class, no worry, because like what I mentioned, I'm going to upload the video into the membership site, so then you can watch the replay. And what is the difference as compared to the other class? 26-week program. If you go outside, most of the time they only, teach in 2 days only. Now 2 days after that, how are you going to learn? Most probably, most of you could not remember. So that's why 26 weeks, I think, have ample time for you to learn at least how to trade, how to, create your own process, and then how to manage your risks. So second thing, all right, most importantly, is leverage on our resources. So the tools that I share with you, the strategy that I share with you, which I have been using it for many, many years, I believe you will learn new skill set. So does this program have skill future? No, this program don't have a skill future, because it's my own program. What happened after 26 weeks? You can choose to renew. You no need to decide now. So most importantly, all right, if you sign up for the class, you just focus on learning. All right. Let me share this, video with you from Andy, my partner. All right. I think it takes 5 minutes only. All right. So listen carefully what he shared before we answer your question.
Hi Caleb, can you reshare the video? You have to turn on the audio option on your share screen.
Hi, Caleb. We couldn't hear the video you're playing just now. Just a heads up on that.
Sorry about that. Okay, I think the audio got some problem. Okay, this is my colleague John. All right. So if you have any questions about the what we call it the course, right? Okay, you can contact him. Okay, and most importantly, this is a contact number. You can take the picture, okay, of this contact number, and then you can contact him for the promotions. Okay, make sure you take the opportunity for the promotions because $200 is a lot. All right, I want to thank Philip Nova for the supports, and at the same time you can learn how to trade with little capitals and proper risk managements. And I mean, from our resources. All right. So how are you going to sign up for the class? Okay. So this is the what we call it the link. All right. CalebGun/10x. All right. So you just need to click on the 26-week online coach and then key in your details. All right. And then the payment details for you to sign up for the class. All right. So remember, follow the process, sign up for the class, open Philip Nova account, fund the account $5,000, and then um, you will get the $200 credit to be credit into your Philip Nova account. But make sure you maintain the fund according to the time frames. All right. So with that, I want to end my presentation. So if you have any questions, all right, do feel free to type in the chat room. Okay. So with that, Sean, I pass it over to you. All right.
Thank you, Caleb, for the very wonderful presentation. I'm sure we are all learning new stuff every day, and we have learned a lot from your presentation on how to do proper risk management, on how to analyze the market, on how to screen for the proper stocks, and how to take full advantage of the current market trend, and to use the facilities and the tools that your broker offer to really capture all the relevant market opportunities. Now we'll open up the time for a quick Q&A. So for those of you who have questions, you may put them into the chat box, into the question chat box. Right? I'll read out the questions so that either Caleb or my team we could answer them for you. In the meantime, you can also scan this QR code for the account opening link, and you can also read more about the promo T&C. And for those of you who wants to join our Telegram channel, you can also join through the QR code over here. And we have a post-event survey. We would appreciate it very, very much if you can help us to fill out the post-event survey. And from there on, we'll get in touch with you if there's any other queries. Okay, so coming to the Q&A from Cecilia Leong. So after 31st August, we can use the $5,000 in the account. Let me answer this, Cecilia. Yes, you can. The moment you fund in the $5,000, you can already use it for trading. So the promotion criteria is we just don't allow you to withdraw that $5,000. So the moment you fund in before 31st July, right? Just make sure you have the funds inside your account. You can use that fund for investing, for trading. Just do not withdraw it before 31st August. I hope this answers your question. Okay, let me look for the other questions. Okay, Andrew asks, since the banks had a strong run up in prices, do you think I should take profits and buy REITs since they have been lagging the STI index for such a long time? Maybe for this, I'll hand over to Caleb to answer.
All right. Very good questions. Now, usually, if you purchase the bank stock at a very low price, okay, my suggestion is that I think you can continue to hold it to collect dividends unless there is a major crash down. All right. So far, when we look at the chart, when we look at the fundamental, everything is still great. Okay. So we don't just simply take profit unless you need money. Okay, unless you need money. All right, and then you might want to consider to liquidate some. And then another strategy that, okay, you might want to consider to rotate, some or maybe move some of the profit, okay, to the REITs as well. All right, you might not necessarily move everything. All right, so do it slowly, okay, because who knows, all right, because in Federal Reserve, no one can predict whether the interest rate will be cut or whether the interest rate will be going up. So no one can predict. So that's why do it in a very careful way, all right? Because the Singapore bank is still strong and uptrend is still intact. That's my view. Sean, over on you.
Okay, thank you, Caleb. There's one question from Crystal. After the 26 weeks online classes, are we live members? I'll hand over to you to answer this.
The program is not a live member. Like what I mentioned, after 26 weeks, you can choose to renew. And of course, the renewal price will be definitely lower. Okay. So most of my member, they will choose to renew because it's very affordable. And secondly, like what I shared with you, they do learn new thing each week. And I mean, as long as you are, renewing, yeah, you can enjoy all the resources lah. So that's why we don't do a line member, all right? So that is what I want to share with you. I mean, renew is actually to encourage, the people to work more harder to add more value into this program. So that's why it will keep moving lah. Okay, and stock market is dynamic. I believe you will learn new thing every time. Many different time. I mean, different kind of the situations happen in the stock market. So that's why how you learn is a long-term journey. Thanks. That's my answer. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Caleb. So yeah, just once again, just to highlight the promotion again, very simple steps as mentioned by Caleb previously. You just have to fund in $5,000, all right, before 31st of July, okay? Fund in $5,000 into a Phillip Nova account before 31st July. You can either be a new account holder or you can be an existing Phillip Nova account holder. Either way, it is okay. You just have to fund in $5,000 fresh funds before 31st of July. And with these funds, you can actually do trading or investing. It is okay. But you just do not withdraw the funds before 31st of August 2026. And with that, you will be able to receive $200 in trading credits, which would be credited into your account by 31st of August 2026. And on top of that, you enjoy promotional rate of 0.04% for Singapore stocks and ETF, right? And you also enjoy promotional commission rate of $1.88 minimum for US stocks and ETF. Okay, so 31st of July is the deadline to qualify, and then 31st December is what you get the promotional commission rates for Singapore stocks and US stocks for trading, right? So just remember this criteria. The QR code is over at the end, over here. Just scan this QR code and select the account opening link. That's where you can open an account with us today. All right, I'll leave the Q&A on for 2 more minutes for any other questions. In the meantime, those who are still online, we would appreciate it if you could help us do the post-event survey, where you can give us feedback on what you want to hear about in the next webinar and how do you find the webinar today. We would greatly appreciate your feedback. All right, otherwise, I think that is all for tonight. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Caleb. Thank you, Sri, for helping out with this event. And thank you, everyone, for attending this webinar. We'll see you again. Good night and goodbye.